Hey Glam Fam, welcome back. Today is gonna be episode 15 of Small Talk. Today we only have two topics. Okay, so Baddies East has dropped their cast. Okay, so the people returning from last season is Natalie, of course. Krishan, I feel like Krishan was a little boring last season. Let's see if she gives something again. Stunner Girl, I didn't really care for Stunner Girl, but hopefully we see her personality this season because she was annoyed from day one last season. So, hopefully she opens up a little bit more. Broly, I'm not shocked that Broly's coming back, but honestly, Broly is starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Her head is starting to get a little too big in my opinion. And Scotty, like, they brought all the wrong girls back in my opinion. I'm not surprised it is these girls, but I just think it's time that we find some new girls. Really, Scotty, I wouldn't be so sick of Rolly if her ego wasn't getting so big. And then with Stunner Girl, like, honestly, I just want to see her interact. Like, even before she had fought all them people and she got closed up, she was just in the room quiet. Like, she just be quiet, minding her business on her phone. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, we don't want to see you quiet the whole time, and then the only time we see you and hear you is when you fighting somebody. Like, like we want to see your personality. We don't want to just see you quiet and not trying to talk to nobody, and then the only time you got something to say is when you fighting. No, so hopefully she actually gets to know the ladies this season, because I don't feel like she made a big enough impact to even come back, because she just honestly seems so antisocial. It's just like, we just don't want to see you here for fighting and that's it. At least Krishan has personality. You can tell Krishan is a good person. She's spiritual, and she'll make up with you after she fights you. Krishan got more going on than just fighting. So yeah, that's the girls returning. I don't really care for girls returning, but I'm not shocked. Now, moving on to the new cast, Sky. Sky is too old to be on this show. First of all, before I even get to the rest of the cast, this is a lot of girls. Okay, this is 15 girls. Natalie is not running this. Natalie is not gonna have no type of control over this cast. This is too many people, and on top of that, some of these people in this cast is not gonna let Natalie run over them. But yeah, Sky, I don't know why Sky is here. Same reason with Tommy last season. I don't understand how people aren't noticing that people are going on this show and like ruining their reputations. Like, the people that we already know are kind of going on the show and ruining their reputations, but the people that we don't know are the ones that are kind of benefiting the most from it. Because the people that we know, we looking at them on this show like, girl, why are you here? And then they end up getting beat up and embarrassing themselves. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know what Sky is gonna give. Everybody say this every season. Oh, she ain't going for it. Oh, she gonna beat Natalie up. Oh, and then they end up embarrassing themselves. So I don't know what this season is giving, but this is a lot of girls. Sky shouldn't be there. Whoa, Vicky. What? Like, Natalie just looking for anybody. I would have rather seen the Catch Me Outside girl than Whoa, Vicky. T, I don't know who that is. Hopefully she's from the auditions, because Camilla. Now, I am super excited to see Camilla. I believe Camilla is the only bad girl this season besides Natalie. Yeah, Camilla's the only bad girl this season. I know a lot of these bad girls are coming on here getting beat up, but I honestly, truly do not see that for Camilla, and I hope she don't come up here and ruin it, because Kat was my favorite BGC girl, and she didn't do nothing too bad, but she kind of disappointed me a little bit. Now, Camilla is my next favorite BGC girl, so hopefully she don't come up here embarrassing herself. But Natalie does not like Camilla, so I really wouldn't put it past Natalie to already have production and security on her team to make it difficult for Camilla in whatever way. So I don't know if Camilla should do this. I don't know if this is a good idea, but we'll see. She done probably already told security, if we get into it, you better hold Camilla down and don't touch me at all. Let me get her. So I don't know if this is a good idea for Camilla, but we'll see. Sia, I don't know who that is. Is she from the auditions? Mariah Lynn, I told y'all in another video, I already knew Mariah Lynn was gonna make it. By the way, she walked in the auditions. She walked in them auditions like they told her to do that just so it could make sense when she came on the show. I don't know how to say her name, but this is Krishan's sister. I'm surprised that she's on the cast because Natalie was up there talking about it's a hard no, it's a hard no. So I'm surprised. Smiley, I don't know who that is. Anna Mac, I feel like she's probably like somebody famous on Instagram because her name looks familiar, but I don't know who that is. And then DJ Sky High. And they made sure to put the tour DJ in parentheses because y'all know last season Sky thought she was a baddie. So yeah, this cast don't look interesting, to be honest. I am no longer excited for Baddies just because I don't really expect much from it now. Baddies East was kind of like the last chance I was given this show because that was the most excited I have been about a cast. So I was pretty excited about Baddies ATL, but y'all know that was a huge disappointment. But I was really excited about the cast last season, and it was just completely ruined with the whole Tommy Stunner mess. There was nothing else really going on, so I don't get excited for Baddies anymore. I don't get excited when I see former bad girls on here that I haven't seen in a while. Even though I am excited to see Camilla, I'm honestly not that excited for the season because I don't think it's gonna be worth it. And this is way too many girls. There's no way we're gonna be able to get through all of these girls every week in one episode. So this is gonna be a hot mess. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this cast, and we are moving on. Okay, so I didn't think I was gonna talk about that for that long, but it's so many girls on that cast. Jesus Christ. So next we are gonna talk about Cynthia and Candy. Cynthia spoke on it. She was Candy's guest on Speak on It last night, and she responded to Nene. She gave her thoughts on season 15. You know, she talked about Kenya. She pretty much caught us up on her life and gave her opinions on the current Real Housewives. You know, I usually don't do this, but since, you know, we haven't seen Cynthia in a while, we'd have missed Cynthia. She responded to Nene's interview that I just reviewed. We're gonna go ahead and review this Speak on It. Well, not review, but, you know, I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna speak on it. Okay, so first things first, when the Speak on It started, they got right into the Nene interview. They got right to the point. And Cynthia responded to the part where Nene said that she tried to stop her bag behind the scenes. Now, of course, Cynthia denied it. She said it was really Nene who tried to get her fired because if y'all remember that Watch What Happens Live where Nene was like, oh, Cynthia just goes wherever the wind blows. And, you know, Cynthia kind of took that as, no, I didn't try to get you off the show, but we actually have receipts if you trying to get me off the show. Now, I don't think that Nene was really trying to get her off the show at that moment. I think she was just answering a question. Secondly, Nene said this happened off camera. So obviously there are gonna be no receipts. And, you know, just because there are no receipts doesn't mean it didn't happen. You know, we did have that incident at the end of season 11, was it? When Kenya returned to Cynthia's event and we got Cynthia on that hot mic talking about she was supposed to act like she didn't know Kenya was coming. They still haven't explained that. I still believe that that was a setup to get Kenya there without Nene knowing. I mean, they got caught. So clearly you was doing some sort of plotting behind Nene's back. So I actually believe Nene in that. And plus Cynthia kept really focusing on the fact like, I don't have the power to get rid of you. She didn't say you had the power. She said you tried to go behind scenes and you tried to talk to people and you tried to plot. She didn't say you actually did it. She didn't say you had the power and you were successful. She said you tried. So the fact that Cynthia kept focusing on that and kept saying, I don't have any power, lets me know that she's guilty. And she kept focusing on the wrong details, in my opinion. And plus, she's gotten caught before. But they both do give Nene her props for being basically the Atlanta housewife.
You know, one of the things I actually agree with her with is, you know, she says that our HOA is the house that she built. Mm-hmm. And Nene was very instrumental in you know, Housewives. You came on what, like, second season? I came in second season.
Cynthia, you know, she always gives Nene her compliments. I will say that she always keeps it very classy when it comes to Nene. She always gives her respects. She even gave her a compliment of how she looked with the Carlos King interview. You know, Cynthia always keeps it cute. Then they start talking about how they want Nene back and how they wouldn't dare plot to get her off the show because they actually want her there because she's such a key player. It didn't seem that way when she was there. It seemed like they didn't want her there. So honestly, this whole first part, I feel like was some BS. They did not like Nene when she was there. Now that she gone, they realize that the ratings is falling and that we talking about Nene every week. Now they're like, oh no, she was a key player. No, we would love to have her back. Didn't want her around at first. Now they see them ratings. Now they talking about she a key player. But anytime she say she a key player, they talk about her ego is out of control. The whole first part of this interview was some BS to me. Cynthia then addressed getting cut out of that episode. If y'all remember that episode where Roy showed up and we thought they had just did Cynthia so dirty, child. Cynthia explained it.
See, right. Did you see the world just die?
Oh my God, yes. When they thought I was coming back, they put a clip of me in the trailer, and it was a scene that Kenya was in, and when Roy came over and promoted his Kill Me Crazy food. But I showed up because I was right next door filming, and then they put it in the trailer, so everyone was like, "What happened to Cynthia? You guys edited her out? How dare you guys edit her out?" It was like a whole thing. I actually had to explain to my fans, listen, they did not do me wrong. I wasn't even supposed to be over there. Girl, I was next door shooting BT.
So she didn't actually get cut. She wasn't supposed to be there. But they didn't have to put that in the trailer, and they didn't have to put that in the preview for that episode because they knew what they was doing. She states that it took a while for her to have a convo with Kenya after Ultimate Girls Trip. You know, they reconnected at Teresa's wedding, and that was the first time they had seen each other. And they eventually moved past their issues, and it was really Cynthia who really couldn't let the stuff go. So they were waiting on Cynthia to get over it. And she said the love is still there, but the friendship dynamic has changed. They talk about the Drew thing again, of course. And like I told y'all, Candy is irritated because Drew keeps calling her a liar. Now, I know Candy does not like to be called a liar, but to be honest, this is giving Kenya with Bologate. This is literally the exact same reason Kenya kept dragging it on with Portia, because Portia called her a liar and she didn't want to be seen as a liar, so she's going out of her way to prove it, even though everybody knew she wasn't lying. It's giving the same thing, Candy. We know you're not lying. Please stop dragging this. You don't have to keep calling all these people to confirm. We know. So then Candy asked her if she heard people saying she and Cynthia are alike in terms of being a flip-flopper.
Not Cynthia, excuse me, of Sonya.
Yes.
Do you ever hear people comparing the two of y'all?
You know what? A little bit. It's I ain't want to say the whole flip-flopping thing because they used to say that about me. The whole boring thing. Some of the negative stuff I do feel like
I didn't mean negative, but
I'm just saying. I read, I see the stuff and they're like, oh yeah, she's flip-flopping, and that's a trigger for me because I always felt like, okay, if I've changed my mind, it's with good reason, because I'm happy to be loyal and ride with one person. So if I jump to the other side, you've given me a reason to do it. So that's one of my little triggers. So
I think Sonya could have been the new Cynthia, but she didn't quite do it right. But that was funny. But yeah, Candy pretty much was just asking her if she feel like she a flip-flopper. They start talking about, her divorce and her exes and all of that. And Cynthia clears the air, okay? She has not spent the block on any of her exes. But she outside and she dating, and I always feel like Cynthia is dating. When she's single, she's never just single. She's always dating. That's why I said I'm sure Cynthia has no problem finding a man. I'm sure she's gonna have no problem finding another man. If she want to get married again, I don't think she's gonna have a problem finding another husband. Cynthia stay with a man. So then Candy explains why Marlo sent LaToya the video. So she tells us some more stuff that was in the video that we didn't see. So if y'all remember in the episode, Marlo did tell LaToya that the reason she sent her the video was because Drew was talking about her behind her back, and she thinks that Drew speaks so highly of her. But when they actually played the audio, Drew didn't really say anything about LaToya. So Candy tells us what was in that audio that they did not play.
Drew was dogging Toya in that argument. She was like, oh, she was throwing up, her breath was stinking, she was this, she was that. Why would I do that? And she lies all the time, blah, blah, blah. And I know y'all don't believe, totally saying a lot of negative things about Toya. And so Marlo says that is why she sent Toya the videos.
And okay, that does add context as to why Marlo sent the recording. But I just feel like we're beating a dead horse here. I do not care. I don't care about anything regarding Bologate. I am no longer interested in anything from season 13. See, it was already hard enough to get through once. We were already annoyed going through Bologate the first time. Please let it go. We know you telling the truth, Candy. But speaking of that, wasn't Tanya supposed to make an appearance or something? I could have sworn I saw her taking pictures with the ladies. Or is it gonna be at that event that Claudia's supposed to be at? I don't know, but I know Tanya was supposed to, like, they found Tanya. But yeah, Cynthia and Candy kissed.
Kiss, kiss. Look, here, come here.
What?
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Mwah.
Cynthia has always wanted Candy. You know, she just, come here.
Here, come here.
What?
Give me a kiss.
They was talking about kissing. Cynthia was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go for it. I'm divorced. Come here. And then it kind of ends with Cynthia in a roundabout way telling Candy that she is too busy for the show.
I will just say this to you. At the end of the day, if anyone on this show can go on to do a million other things, it's you, for sure. And I'm not saying you should leave or whatever, but it seems like they feel like you've just, I don't want to say outgrown the show, but it just seems like you have so much going on.
So yeah, that was a pretty good speak on it. It was nice to hear from Cynthia. I do miss Cynthia, but I don't feel like if we brought her back, if they brought her back, like, it would really be as monumental as the fans are making it seem. I think the fans just miss the old cast in general, because this ain't it. So anytime somebody from the old cast comes around or is mentioned, everybody gonna feel like they need to be back. I honestly don't understand why Cynthia would need a peach. I could see her as a friend, like, you know, what she did last night when she came around to the Peach event, you know, started the drama with Drew, told her everybody was talking to her. That was cool. As far as like a personal story, I feel like Cynthia as a peach holder, she was for sure carried by Peter. And then obviously, you know, when they got a divorce, things kind of changed. Cynthia got a little boring. You know, nobody cared about her second wedding. Nobody cared about Mike. So I personally feel like Cynthia was carried, and she doesn't necessarily need to be a peach holder, but I do understand people missing her on the show. Maybe she could come around as a friend. I wouldn't mind her being like an official friend, but as far as like a peach holder, I don't know. I feel like she was only interesting when she was with Peter, and it was like 98% because of Peter. But yeah, that was today's episode of Small Talk. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about everything in the comments down below. Stay happy, healthy, and all of that good stuff, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.